Sonya and Sasha, for real.
Welcome back to BRIMBANK Live on Live FM. You've got the Sonya and Sasha for Real show, and we've got such a special treat for you this week. Sasha, please tell us who is our amazing superstar guest.
Have you been eating, Sonya, in the pandemic?
I told you I've been eating for Australia and 3 other countries. I told you that. I'm very proficient.
Well, let me tell you, if there's anyone that you want to follow when it comes to food, you need to follow like Australia's MasterChef, and not just MasterChef. This chick is so funny. Can we please introduce the incredible MasterChef, Kendray? Yay!
Kendray.
Hello.
Oh, thank you
Welcome.
for being on here. We are obsessed with your food.
Yes, we're obsessed.
I'm obsessed with my food. I have a new ISO body.
I love
put
it.
on an incredible amount of weight. Incredible. That's because I'm following you and cooking what you're cooking every single week. Like I'm making your pastas. It's just, full on. Tell us what has been going on in the whole MasterChef world. What are you doing? What are you cooking in the pandemic?
Oh, in the pandemic, what aren't I cooking? So I am basically traveling the world through my fry pan. I can't get on a plane, so I'm getting on the pans, and I'm just like destinations that I want to go to, and I'm finding the food from that destination that I'm going to cook and pretend that, I'm on a beach in Bali having lumpia or something, and so that's what I've been doing.
You film the most incredible clips with your food. Are you doing all that out of your kitchen at home?
Oh, my God. You should see me zooming into a meatball while it's cooking. Riveting stuff.
Because you put a bit of Cardi B in the background and a bit of Fitty.
I do love a bit of Cardi B.
Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah.
Who doesn't, Joe? Who doesn't? But I see your stuff. Like there's no simple snacks for you. It's like a 4-course, breakfast. If you have breakfast, there's just 4 courses of tricky stuff. But it's beautiful. It's actually not tricky. We can do this stuff that you're cooking, can't we? We can actually do it.
100% you can do this stuff. Yeah, it's mostly street food. I've just zhuzhed it up a bit,
Yes, I love a good zhuzh.
You did a toasted sandwich that would blow your mind the other day. I loved it.
I know. Yeah. Do you know what? We have we've got to tell everyone about Joe, because you're a superstar and everyone should know that. So it was a couple of years ago now that you were on MasterChef, and you were such a beautiful, warm, nurturing character there that everyone started calling you Mama Joe, didn't they? You were like the mama figure in the house.
I know.
And everybody loved you.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if everyone loved me.
Well, I mean,
how could anyone not love you?
Yeah, exactly right. Doesn't make any sense, doesn't compute, Joe. So can you tell
us what was the MasterChef experience like?
Do you know what? It was so amazing. You can't really describe it to people, but you got to remember we did lockdown before lockdown became popular.
Yes, you did.
Yes.
Like I was locked down for nearly 3 months with MasterChef, and that's full on like level 5 lockdown. Like they take your phone off you, call your family like once a week, and it's 10 minutes on a phone that they give you. It's like a burner phone. Like it's very Jason Bourne.
Wow. So they listen into your calls.
I wouldn't put it past them. Yeah, like you just had no privacy. There's no internet in that. We went without internet. You couldn't have any contact with the outside world really, except for those 10-minute phone calls. And then all we did was read cookbooks. So like you're obsessed just at this really high level about whatever you can get your hands on as far as information, and it was just cookbooks.
So what's the living conditions like?
Well, we had 6 people in my bedroom, and it was bunk beds.
There's no words for that. That's not nice.
No,
I don't want to be in a bunk bed situation. It sounds very prison-like. Like it sounds like no phone. You got to burn 1 phone call a week for 10 minutes, and you can't talk to anybody. No internet. It's like a bit of a prison situation. No wonder your emotions are high when you're living in those kinds of conditions.
Yeah, people go, I can't understand why you got so emotional when your cake flopped. It's because
that's all I've got.
Yeah,
that's all you've got. Like your dreams are all on that cake, and that's it.
Now, I've always wanted to know, when you get the box of food in front of you, do you have an opportunity? You've just got to pull recipes out of your head. Is this correct? There's no time for you to go and Google something or prompt something. You can't.
There's no,
No.
you got to remember everything, which is why I have so many problems. So I made up songs to go with my recipes, or stories. So one of my stories for a lemon yogurt cake, it was 3 eggs walk into a bar. It's the lemon yogurt bar, right? And that's how I remembered my recipe.
Gold.
But if you don't have a great memory, you won't get very far, I don't think.
Really?
Well, it's so pressure. Like I saw the ad. Sorry, Sasha. I saw the ad for the kids MasterChef during the week.
Yeah.
Did you see that? And it's like these tiny little people, 8 and 9, like our kids' age. Sasha, I just called you Sonya then. Our kids'
That's
age.
How you know you're having an identity crisis when you don't
Right. See, I've lost my mind too.
Yeah.
Making things like like jus and essences of things and balls and spheres, and it's like they're 8 years old. My kid knows where the Oreos are. That's it. That's all it's got.
And you can't even open the packet. I've got to open the storage. You know what I mean? Like, so what's it like to have? Are the cameras following you around 24 hours a day, or is it like only when you're in the kitchen and then?
You never know when they're going to show up. Like they would say, you've got to be ready by 6 a.m. tomorrow, and we kind of got to know. Okay, so they're going to be here at 4, to try and wake us up, and they did. So we'd get up at 3. Because we didn't want to be woken up in bed. But then there was one time that they actually did get me because I was so exhausted. And then I woke up and there was like a camera like in my face. And I'm like, you just need to give me a minute because I'm just like not with the world right now. Like just give me a minute. My hair's like a witch. Like I don't understand that part of it. But,
I'd like to brush my teeth first, please. Yeah.
Let me put a bra on,
It seems like that everybody's really supportive and everybody wants everybody to win and everybody, you're like this big happy family. But is that the case? Like surely if you're all living together, you're not getting along at some point?
Yeah, we did have tiffs, and I was involved in some of them and other people in some others. And it's like living with strangers. You got 24 people that don't know each other that all want the same prize. Like it's like Survivor in the kitchen. Like it's like the Survivor show, but like you don't see that side of it. But, it's amazing at the same time. So it's all good.
What do you eat for dinner when you're cooking for yourselves?
We cooked per room. So the 6 of us would make dinner for the whole 25 of us. And then, we could do whatever we wanted. We had the best pantry. Like, oh, my God, we had the best pantry.
But, would you ever just cook, a jaffle?
Well, I wanted to do pizza night and that got vetoed because people wanted to do, fancy stuff. And I'm like, listen, I just need food right now. I don't need to, be all whiz bang. Let's just make pizzas. Like, seriously.
And they said no.
Yeah, that got vetoed.
All right, now let's get down to the real questions that we all want to know. What are the judges like? What are they like? Are they supportive of you? Do they eat the food as you're cooking it? Because at the end, it all looks so perfect. There's like 20 people.
Yeah, they do eat it cold by the time that part of it comes around. Yeah,
wow,
I don't know how they do that. I couldn't do it. Like I'd judge everyone a 1 if that's the case.
Yeah. Imagine a bit of cold lamb that's like a bit of cold lamb that that's not good.
And then getting excited about it. So that's
but can they microwave it? Like I know that's completely falling apart, but can you go just buzz it for a couple of minutes? Yeah. Sorry.
Wash your mouth out, woman.
Sorry.
Terrible.
But I'd be like, I'll just put it. What about like the ice creams and stuff? Like surely they must then have to go into a freezer or
Yeah, you've got to have them. You've got to have it on a certain plate in a certain spot, and if you don't have it there in time, then it's not counted. So like there's lots of rules and stuff, but it's all done to time. The time that you see is the time that we get and no extra. And they taste it as like they come around and chat to you. They taste the food, so they got a fair idea of what's going to be on the plate and how it's going to taste when they do get it. And I guess it's up to them to make a judgment.
Did you actually get to connect with them and make friends with them?
Yeah, sometimes, like not all the time. Sometimes when the camera's turned off, they're out and they're gone. But other times they would hang around. Like Nigella hung around all day chatting. Like she loves a good chat.
Wow. So you can hang out with Nigella.
Oh, yeah, of course. Start name dropping?
Yeah. And so what about Gordon Ramsay? What happened with him?
Oh, what didn't?
Oh, look out, Sonya and Sasha for real scoop. What's going on? Let's get him in a bit more trouble.
You know what? Like everyone was like so scared to have him on, and I was just so excited because he was just been one of my food idols for so long, and I wanted him to come and tell us all to F off and to go a bit crazy. And he eventually did do that. He threw fish at the wall. He threw some Gordons in, and I loved every second of it. But there were some people that were like not having it, and they were really upset by being treated like that. But it's Gordon Ramsay. What do you expect? Like seriously, calm your farm.
Yeah, I want him to throw something at me.
He did throw a fish, and he said because we gave him raw fish
by
purpose. And then he goes, if I put it back in the ocean, it's going to swim away. what do you say to that? And he threw it. So we didn't do it on purpose. We didn't know he was going to say that. It's just happened,
Did you get a sense that's just his real personality, or he hams it up a little bit for the
I think he
cameras?
does ham it up. Yeah.
Right.
Like when he actually came around and talked to us all, like he was actually very nice. He had nothing but nice things to say to me. So that's why I was a bit cheeky with him, I suppose.
Yeah, so tell us about that. What happened with that interaction? Because it's gold.
Well, we were making a burger. It was a burger challenge, and I got a couple of different buns, and I just thought, I'm not going to throw away my shot. There's my little Hamilton plug. So you got one chance, right, to be smart-ass with Gordon Ramsay, and when he comes over, I'm going to say something about buns, right? I don't know what.
Yeah.
I just, it just came out, and he asked me about the buns, so I'm like, bugger it. I'm just going to say, do you want to see my buns? And he's only human, so of course he did.
Oh! And how did he react to that? What did he say, Jo?
I think he was a little bit shocked. Like he didn't expect someone to be sassy. And I think they kind of liked that I was always a bit sassy, sometimes not so much. Sometimes they liked it. So I suppose that's why it got put in the show. But that's how I am. Like I'm very quick with stuff like that. So it worked out.
You've got the best sense of humour.
That's why
you're listening to the Sonya and Sacha for Real show. Before we go to the break, there's one thing I want to ask you. We interviewed Linton Tapp a few years back, and he said there is a list of things that you must know how to cook and you sign off on before you go into the MasterChef experience. Is this correct? And how many is there? And did you know all of them? Because he said he didn't know any of them.
That wouldn't surprise me. You did get a list. It's like 4 pages, 5 pages long. I didn't know all of them either. It's impossible to know all of them.
Yeah.
But you got a good handle on the basics, you got to learn 5 or 6 different pastries, cream, sauces, stock. It's crazy.
Wow.
That's my kids in the background clapping their hands.
That's a round of applause for Jo knowing the list.
Can I just tell you, that's a round of applause saying the mum's school finished. That's they've finished their school assembly, and I think it's finished.
All right, now, Jo, you're staying with us until after the break.
You're listening to BRIMBANK Live on Live FM.
Across Australia and around the world on BRIMBANK Live FM, Sonya and Sacha, for real.
Thank you so much for listening to BRIMBANK Live on Live FM. You're with the Sonya and Sacha for Real show. It's Friday. It's school holidays. We're feeling amazing. We are on live right now with Jo Kendray, who was in season 10 of MasterChef and who has her own very special line of zhuzhi ingredients that you can make amazing food with, some spices, Mama Jo's. Tell us about, you're an entrepreneur, lady. You are out there making moves and taking names. So tell us. Yeah, you're a hustler. You're a mama hustler. So tell us about the line. What can we get? Where are they from? What's in it? Because I know that Sasha's son will not eat another butter chicken unless it's Mama Jo's.
Hey, we are addicted to your spices in our household.
I love him. Thank you. It's just a little baby spice range. It's a hobby business, but it's stuff so that people can just put the spice in and then make dinner without having to go and buy, 20 different spice mixes from the supermarket. And so that's what I wanted to do, very much inspired by spending a lot of time eating in America when I lived there.
So, hang on, you lived in America, in New York as well?
I did. So I lived in New York and then in New Jersey. Yeah.
So you're in love with the place just as much as we are.
I'm obsessed. Like
Yeah.
it's my one regret in life is that I had to leave the country without a ticket home, like what I call home. So yeah, I would I'm in the green card lottery still to this day. I keep putting my entry in every year. And if that doesn't work, then I'm gonna start pen paling death row people because no matter, no way, no how, I'm coming back.
Yeah. I love that.
You could be the death row chef.
We had a conversation about trying to get into America, and you said I need to hook up with someone on death row, and that's going to be my ticket in there. I just want to know, if you were hooked up with someone in death row, what is the meal that you would cook them? What is the last meal?
Do you know what? I've researched this because I've read books on death row meals. And a lot of them order fried chicken and Dr. Pepper. I can give or take Dr. Pepper, whatever. Yeah. A good fried chicken, though, it's very hard to beat. But I would order barbecue, 100%.
100% barbecue chicken?
No, like barbecue, like Texas brisket or a rack of ribs, and some hush puppies, like good old Southern barbecue food.
That's not what I would expect for Nah. Yeah. I can't do it. I want a chicken parma. Good chicken parma.
Come on.
Tell us more about the working in New, because that's our second home as well, and we're missing New York, and we have a segment pretty much every week called New York Minute where we're bringing all our beautiful people that we've amassed into
all of that stuff that we've brought them out here. Hang on. What I want to know is you're also doing something online, like a cooking stuff online. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I met this girl just by random chance, and we had this instant connection over food, and it turns out she had spent a couple of years living in New York, and she came back and started a startup business which is called Drool Australia. And she's doing online stuff because COVID happened, and it's to connect people and food. And so we kind of connected through that. And now I'm doing online cooking classes with her. And I just love how connections work like that. We connected so much over New York, and then it turned to food. And now we're working together doing online cooking classes. She's a mama boss startup lady, and she's kicking ass, and I'm happy to be a part of her little Drool family right now.
Now, you have been so kind, and you are giving away. Now, it started with 2, but because we had some really amazing entries, and we're now giving away 3 of your cooking classes. Thank you so much. And when is the cooking class? When is it?
I'm doing a few. So the next one is Sunday. I'm doing Korean dumplings, mandu, and then I'm doing a few dumplings. I'm sensing a theme here. It seems to be a lot of that. And then there's a bunch of stuff online. So I'm busy.
Well, we've got 3 people that we're going to give it away to. So We've got, these are all their Insta's account. We've got Sarah Aesthetic. We've got Angela, who's been following us. And then we're actually going to give this away to someone in London, and that's Nishma in London. Yeah. So you're going to get a whole mixed match of people that are on
international, baby.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So international.
What's your favourite place in New York? What's your favourite thing to eat in New York?
Oh my God. Come on, man. How big's a piece of string?
Yeah, I know, right?
My favourite thing that I used to go to all the time was soup dumplings, and at Joe's Shanghai in 56th Street. If you walk past it, you would keep walking. You wouldn't go in, but it's amazing.
Yes.
And then I used to get hot cookies delivered from Insomnia Cookies. You can get them at 24 hours a day delivered to your room, warm, just out of the oven. And I was obsessed.
We need to find that place.
Oh my God.
You totally do.
Now you're talking dirty, right?
And then if you
warm cookies, that's good.
Marie's Crisis, which is in Chelsea area, West Village. It's a dive bar where they have a piano, and people, when they finish work on Broadway, go and sing around the piano.
Oh, no way.
The best. It's the best place to go. And you never know who's going to walk in. And sometimes it's just people that can't sing, but everyone's happy, and you sing show tunes. It's amazing.
Have you sung
everybody's
there?
Drunk.
Yeah. Have you sung there, Joe?
I do. I'm a terrible singer, but when you've had a few, beverages.
Of anything?
Yeah. Suddenly I'm belting out Man of La Mancha, and people are like, who are you? What are you doing? I'm like, yes, this is my people. I love Broadway, and I miss it so much.
Wow.
Do you know what I want to ask you, Joe? because we're talking a lot about mental health in this show and, people, and staying connected, when you get kicked off the show, how do you deal with something like that?
I was a mess, honestly. Like
you're supposed to give us a positive thing.
because
I'm sure there's a lot of people that have lost their jobs and stuff like that. So I'm just kind of like, tell us about that moment when you got kicked off the show.
I burst into tears. I was devastated. I went home and looked at the wall for 3 days before I talked to anyone. And
do you actually get kicked off and get in the taxi and go home?
Pretty much. Well, they interview you, and then with me, they're like, you're too upset. You'll have to come back tomorrow. And so they sent me home, dropped me off, and then said, we'll come and get you tomorrow because you've got to finish like all your interviews and stuff. And then I didn't really know what to do because you can't tell anyone where you've been or because they're still filming. And so it's really hard. You've just got to push through it. Like, and family and friends that knew where I was, that I was able to tell, was a very small circle. And so, that was really hard for me. I'm not going to lie, it was a struggle, but, I cooked and I ate a lot. So that's my theme.
That's what
cook and eat. Suppress it all and eat and all.
Probably
that
not
stuff.
the best advice.
It's our kind of advice. Sonia and Sasha for Real Live, BRIMBANK Live FM. We're telling you, just cook and eat. That'll make you feel better for everything. That solves all your problems.
Thank you so much for being with us today, Jo. We love having you on our show.
Thanks,
and thank you so much for being so generous and giving those 3 people the experience of a lifetime from one of the best in the business. And, you've cheered us up. We're so happy you came onto the show. Sure, whether you have pants on or you don't, but that doesn't matter. And come back and see us.
Pants? Are you wearing pants or not?
No.
No, good girl. Friday. That's the way it goes. Yeah. That's the way to do it.
Beautiful.
After the break, we've got a great young man who's going to tell us all about how we can get through this tough time that we're in right now, the ring of steel, and still have some good mental health. But Jo Kendray, you're a superstar. We love you. Thank you so much. You've been listening to the Sonya and Sasha show on BRIMBANK Live.
Sonya and Sasha, for real.